Welcome to Shortstop on Pool, run of the week number 9. I want to talk about the Predator Alfa 10-ball tournament in Las Vegas just last week. Just want to show a few shots involving 2 matches with Shane Van Boening. He lost to Chang earlier in the tournament, and then late in the tournament, he lost to Chang. The players were struggling all week with a slow cloth. Now, it's not a super slow cloth. In fact, it's probably a pretty fast cloth, except that when the cue ball is traveling a long distance and it gets towards the end of its roll, it would slow down very quickly. So the players were dealing with that. And then you saw most of the players favoring an extremely hard, forceful break shot. They were really hammering the break shot in order to try and get the balls open. There were a few racks that looked like they were kind of loose, kind of a slug rack. But because of that slow-ish cloth, the players were really hammering the break. We'll look at just a few shots in a couple of Shane's matches. So let's take a look at this break shot by Chang. Really hammered it, and I want you to notice that 4-ball was the corner ball, and it took that 4-rail path around and ran into the cue ball. Let me try and play it again for you. Watch the 4-ball corner ball. Comes around and hits the cue ball, and knock the cue ball over this direction and up this way. So that'll be important later on in this video. But at this point, Chang plays a safety. So Chang kicks at the 1-ball. He calls it in the side, but it's probably not going to go. He's just trying to stick the cue ball and get the 1-ball down behind these balls, and it doesn't quite get there. This is an example, kind of like last run of the week, players making something from nothing, running out from nowhere. Shane has a really long, difficult shot on this 1-ball. And there really isn't any much of position on the 1. In fact, he's got to hit it in such a fashion that he comes off of this 9-ball and avoids the scratch, which he does. Now I'm going to speed this up. We'll take a look at Shane. He runs out the rest of these balls. Pretty routine run out for Shane, that is. He gets perfect on this 8-ball, and he just needs to bump the 9-ball over here, and he's going to have an easy out. Now, I talked about slow cloth struggles. Watch how Shane cues this shot. Now, he didn't really hit that bad. He didn't hit it too soft. Watch the 9-ball react. On a faster cloth, the 9-ball would have gone twice as far, and he would have been dead straight in. But instead, he's got to pull out the bridge and shoot a 45-degree cut shot at least, and try and go up, over 45-degree cut shot and go up and down table. So that's just one very small example of what I call slow cloth struggles that all the players were dealing with the whole tournament. So now Shane is down 3-1. Watch how hard he breaks this. Watch the corner ball, the 7-ball. 7-ball comes 4 rails around, doesn't hit the cue ball, but my goodness, did he hit that hard. So there was a couple of exchanges in that rack, and Shane ended up winning, so now he's down 3-2. Watch how hard he hits this break. I mean, I don't know that he can hit it much harder than that. And dry break once again. Shane is not very happy. Chang has a long 1 to begin with. He needs to come 2 rails like this to get behind the 2-ball over there. And he comes close to it, but not quite hard enough. Watch how fast the cue ball slows down at the end of the run, and it hits the 8-ball as well. So he wanted the cue, even if the 1-ball had more speed on it, it would have come off the rail, and he would have had a much easier shot on the 2 in the side. As it is, what are you going to do? He takes a look, and this is a brave decision, but he decides to just pocket the 2-ball. He doesn't want to elevate. I might have wanted to elevate and send the cue ball this way to get on that 3. But he decides not to. He can see that the cue ball is going to run with a level cue stick. The cue ball is going to run right into the 4. And so he's deciding to leave himself full table length on this 3. And then probably the 4 is going to be over here. So how is he going to get position on it past the 5? So I think he gets a little bit fortunate here in that the 4-ball goes in the pocket. So all he's got to do is make the 3 and the 5's right here. But he's elevated over the 10 ball. This is a really tough out. Look how he's elevated over the 10 with this much angle. You kind of want to, if the 10 ball wasn't there, you'd want to bounce the cue ball out just a little bit, so then you can pocket the 5 and bounce out, and then you have a real good cueing on the 6 ball. But he's elevated and he's got to roll it. And as often happens, he undercuts it. See how much he undercut it? Which means he's almost dead straight on that 5 ball. Now, how would you play this 5? Because you need to pocket the 6. What you really want to do is pocket the 6 and either go this route to get on the 7, or with right spin and go this way to get on the 7 ball. But in order to do both of those shots, you need to cue at the bottom of the cue ball. And the cue ball is going to be against the rail when he shoots this 5. This is another brave positional selection by Chang here. The 10 ball, I feel that the 10 ball is in the way of this route. He's not going to follow forward. He's going to punch it forward. In other words, just a little bit off above center and punch it forward 2 rails past the 10. Look at that. And it doesn't hit it hard enough, probably because of the slow cloth. I'm sure he expected to come farther off the bottom rail than that. Watch the cue ball bounce. Look at that. I mean, he really hit that hard. The players were really struggling with this slow cloth, having to hit the cue ball harder than they normally would. Now, how are you going to get on the 7 ball from here? He's got a slight angle. He's cutting the 6 ball to the right. And I'm going to cue this with a high left cue ball, expecting the cue ball to go straight to the rail and a little bit of left to just kind of bring it back down table and just put a real good stroke on it to try and get it all the way down table, even though there's a slow cloth. This is a slow cloth. Watch the cue ball on this 6 ball. This is a Shane type shot. Inside English from 7 feet away. And look at how hard he hit it and how quickly the cue ball slowed down as it got towards the bottom rail. On a Simonis 760 or 860, that cue ball would have come down to the bottom rail and bounced off a little bit. What an amazing shot. Shane's not too happy, but what an amazing run out by Chang on this slow cloth table, that 5 ball and that 6 ball. Just an incredible demonstration of power. Let's go to the next match. First, I want to highlight a shot. It's the 3rd match and the score is tied 1-1. Shane has to play safe. Do you notice what Shane's doing here? Now, obviously, he's kicking safe. He wants to be able to hit the 6 ball full so that the 6 ball goes this way and that the cue ball will continue this way behind the 7. But here's what I want to point out that's important that you may not have noticed. Look how high above the table Shane's head is. Okay? Not every shot do you need to put your chin on the cue. For a shot like this, you need up a bird's eye view to try and make sure that see this angle. And the result is absolute perfection. So I thought that was a really nice little tip. Shane won that game due to that safety. So he's ahead 2-1 and breaking. You got to figure Shane's the favorite from here. Watch what happens on this break. Look at the corner ball. Can you believe that bad luck? I'm going to play it again. That's probably harder than Shane hit most of the breaks in the previous match that I've showed. But let's take a look. Watch the corner ball, the 5 ball, go 4 rails around in probably less than a half a second. He played an absolutely perfect cue ball at that speed. The cue ball stopped directly in the center of the table, and I mean it stopped dead. And that 5 ball came and knocked it in. Just bad luck. And so Huang won the match from there. I would bet that if you give Shane a week to practice on this cloth, he's going to break better than most of the players in the tournament. Slow cloth struggles was the theme of this tournament, in my opinion. And you saw a lot of players struggling with the break shot and struggling with their position. So I thought that was really interesting, and this is just a small taste of a couple of examples of slow cloth struggles. Hope you like that. I anticipate there's going to be some great play in the 10-ball tournament going on this week right now in Las Vegas. So possibly look forward to that next week on Run of the Week. Thanks for watching.